Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. More thoughts about black nerds and nice guys. You know what? I'm just going to put it out there. Whatever reason that a collective of women don't want the black nerd or the nice guy, I don't think they're being honest. I really don't think women are being honest about why they don't like them. I mean, they give some, they'll say some things, but then you start thinking about it, you're like, Because I remember I saw this thing on Facebook. It passed around a couple times. I should have tried to download it or something, maybe upload it, but yeah. Anyway, right, this woman was talking about nice guys. And, when you listen to a lot of these women, you just like, huh? Like, they'll say stuff about, like, the nerds, they got hygiene issues and, or real awkward or something like that. And I'm like, yeah. Because, look, I deal with people. I read people. I've dealt with a lot of these same dudes who will say, yeah, this woman's called me a nice guy, I'm a nerd. And you see everything but awkward. You be seeing dudes who, they pretty cool dudes. I mean, they ain't just somebody. They can talk to people. They can laugh. They can joke. Shoot. Their hygiene is very good. In fact, it's better than some of the dusty dudes that some of these women actually get with. Because, even though I've always said the Pookie and Ray Ray thing is very overrated, and I will maintain that to the day I die, it still happens. And a lot of them are dusty. So if the hygiene of something is an issue, why are these dudes still getting some play? I'm just saying. If that's the issue. Or, they just say the dude's just totally awkward. I'm like, no, because I've been in seminars with guys who would be considered nice guys or black nerds. I'm like, these dudes are very clean cut. I mean, and everything, right? So I'm just like, okay. See, and I think that's part of the problem. The women aren't honest. Right? And I'm gonna put it out there. I think the women they're just not physically attracted to the dudes for whatever reason. I don't think it has anything to do with the personality thing. They ain't physically attracted, right? They come up with some stuff. And I've noticed that with women, particularly black women. I'm just gonna be real. We're talking about black nerds and nice guys. That's one thing. There's a lot of times they just not physically attracted to the dude. But they don't want to just come out and just say that's what it is, because then it turns it back on them, because usually the women who come in like that usually ain't all that themselves. Seriously, they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be looked at as shallow or something, even though it's the most honest thing. It is the most honest thing to say. Because, like, I give you an example, right? Now, I'm usually haven't been confused with a nerd or a nice guy. In fact, I told a guy one time I was a nerd. He looked at me like I was crazy. Most people take me for a thug, even though, yeah, it is what it is, right? So check it out, right? Check it out. Sorry about that. I had to take an important call, so I got thrown off track. But anyway, I was going to talk about this one woman I dealt with. I was interested in, right? And she kept, I was asking her out and, wanted to hang out. She seemed kind of cool, but I ain't, wasn't feeling that attraction. Then we were talking about doing something, and then I said something that didn't have nothing to do with like anything, something about a family member or something. It wasn't even anything bad. But she used it as a pretext to like, oh, I can't go out with you and all that. And I was just like, you're full of shit. Why don't you just say you weren't really attracted to me or something, right? That's all you needed to say, which was funny to me because she saw me with this other fine woman later and was acting all funky, right? But I think that's really the thing. The women just don't find the particular one physically attractive, but they come up with this other bullshit. And that's why a lot of guys are like, whatever. And they ain't talking about like saying like they not tall or whatever. But they come up with rationalizations. And quite frankly, if they black. Because, there's been a lot of talk about the contempt many black women have for black men. It could just be that too. Whatever the case. It's a lot thrown in there. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of bullshit. Right? And really, it's funny that people want to talk about a conversation, but it's not really, How can you have it and the people are not really honest? They're not honest with themselves. Because let's be real. Right? They'll say, oh, the dudes are dusty. But how many dudes out here are really dusty? Right? And how many of these dusty dudes are going to call themselves nerds or nice guys? Right? How many are going to do that? And then one thing with a lot of these so-called nerds and nice guys, a lot of them got their own ends and everything. And a lot of them got jobs. Most of them got jobs. Most of them got at least enough sense to work someplace. So it's like, wait a minute, you trying to hit them on all that? Shoot, some of them probably even, handsome to most people that see them. But the women throw all this other stuff out. And I'm just like, no, you're not attracted to that dude, period. And you're trying to rationalize it. Like I said, you might not be physically attracted to him, or shoot, you could have some general contempt for black men, and unless that dude is like looking like Rick Fox or something, they might not want him. There's a certain troll that people know about that actually said that. It's like if any black man was ugly that didn't look like Rick Fox, you just like, okay. But they'll come up with a whole bunch of other stuff. Like I knew a woman, right? She came up with all this stuff that there was a problem with black men, right? And she was like, well, I like classical music and stuff. And I was like, well, I like classical music. And then she was like, there's a shortage of men. I looked this up. And then when I challenged her on it, I said, okay, how many male friends you got that are single? And she was like 5. And I was like, okay, how many of them would you consider going out with? She said 2 of them. And it was just like, okay, so where's the shortage? Right? But the problem with her real issue was she's one of these women that will probably accuse a brother of colorism. But she was color struck herself because she ain't like her own chocolate complexion. And she had an issue with it. Right? And kept using it as an excuse. And I'm like thinking, since I've known you, you got all these guys trying to holler at you. Trying to get up in you because she was fine. she was fucking gorgeous. Including myself, I was trying to get with her. But she kept coming up with all these excuses and stuff. All right, but I was like, that wasn't in me. See, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing. When for all the dudes who would consider themselves a black nerd, blurred, or, a nice guy, I'm going to say most of y'all, look, let's just be real. There's going to be a few who just whack. But for the overwhelming majority, it ain't necessarily about you. It says something more about the woman. Right? It says something more about the woman and what's up with her. Right? So, anyway, yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Because you know what? Sometimes, man, it ain't really that deep. It really ain't. People looking for some deep explanation and they want to look at slavery and all this. And, that's cool. But sometimes it's just a matter the women just align or they not being honest about what they really feel about something and what's going on with them. But they'll say it's the dude. They'll say a whole bunch of stuff which doesn't hold up in real life. Right? That's why, and because they know if they are honest about it, people will call them on their bullshit. So anyway, right? That's it. I'll get back with you. Peace.